It's kind of funny. We all learned that the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell, but how many of us learned how to actually manage our own money? Yeah, I thought so. Well, today, we're going to fix that. Think of this as the crash course in personal finance you should have had in school. We're going to get you up to speed, so let's just dive right in.
Okay, let's kick things off with a fact that's, well, it's pretty startling. It turns out the average American can only get about 48% of basic financial questions right. I mean, think about that. That's a failing rate, and a class that literally affects every single day of our lives.
And you're probably asking yourself, why weren't we taught this stuff in school? It's a totally fair question, and honestly, it's frustrating. The system just kind of goes silent on maybe the most practical life skill there is. But hey, that's what we're here for. This whole explainer is designed to fill in those gaps and give you the tools you need to finally take control. All right, so here's our game plan for today. First, we'll talk about the class you missed. Then, we'll figure out how to know your financial vitals. After that, we'll master your money defense, build wealth on offense, and finally, wrap it all up by showing you how to create your automatic system.
So let's get into what was missing from that class. Here's maybe the biggest secret in personal finance. The real difference between someone who succeeds with money and someone who struggles, it's usually not their income. It's not about luck. It's not about who their parents are. The real game changer is just financial literacy. It's about knowing the rules of the game.
Okay, so where do we even begin? Well, think about it like this. You can't plan a road trip if you don't know where you're starting from, right? Same thing with your money. You can't plan your financial future until you know exactly where you stand today. And luckily for us, it all boils down to 3 key numbers.
First up, we've got net worth. The easiest way to think about this is like your financial scorecard. It's super simple, actually. Just add up everything you own, cash, investments, your car, whatever, and then subtract everything you owe, student loans, credit card debt. And listen, if you do the math and the number feels kind of low, please do not panic. The median net worth for people under 35 is less than $39,000. So if you're in that boat, you are definitely not alone.
All right, number 2 is cash flow. This one tells you whether you're moving forward or backward each month. It's just your monthly income minus your monthly expenses. And please, do not underestimate the power of even a small positive number here. Check this out. A surplus of just $300 a month, if you invest it, could grow to over $460,000 in 30 years. I mean, that's the incredible power we're talking about. And our third vital sign is your financial runway. I like to call this the peace of mind metric. Basically, it answers the question, how many months could you live on your savings if your income just stopped tomorrow? And this isn't about being a pessimist, not at all. It's about building yourself a safety net so you have freedom and confidence no matter what happens.
And here's a gut punch of a statistic that shows why that safety net is so crucial. A recent study found that 37% of adults in America couldn't cover a $400 emergency. $400! They'd have to borrow it or sell something. So just by having a small runway, you're already way ahead of the curve.
Okay, so you know your vitals. You know where you stand. Now it's time to start taking control. And just like in sports, it all starts with defense. We've got to protect what you have, stop the financial leaks, and build a really solid foundation.
So, your defensive playbook really has 3 core moves. First, create a spending plan, and I mean a plan, not a super restrictive budget. Second, build that emergency fund. You can start small. Even $25 a week adds up to $1,300 in a year. And third, you got to attack that high-interest debt with a clear strategy.
And speaking of debt, there are 2 main ways to tackle it. You've got the debt snowball method, where you pay off your smallest debts first. This is great for getting some quick wins and building momentum. Then there's the debt avalanche. This is the one that's mathematically better because you focus on the highest interest debt first, which saves you the most money. Honestly, the best one is whichever one you'll actually stick with.
I love this quote. Trying to save money while carrying high-interest debt is like trying to fill a bucket with a giant hole in the bottom. It just perfectly illustrates why you have to tackle this stuff. High-interest debt isn't just costing you money. It's actively draining your ability to build any wealth. It's like you're trying to run forward into a hurricane.
All right, defense is solid. The foundation is built. Now for the fun part. Let's switch to offense. This is where we go from just managing money to actively building wealth for your future. This is where things get really exciting. So many people think investing is this big, risky thing, but I want to completely flip that idea on its head for you. The real risk,
The real risk is not investing. Just letting your money sit in a savings account is a guaranteed loss. Inflation will slowly but surely eat away at its value. Investing is how you fight back. It's how you make your money work for you, so you don't have to work forever.
And if you need proof, just look at this. This is the mind-blowing power of starting early. If you invest just $100 a month starting at 25, you could have over $700,000 by the time you retire. But look what happens if you wait just 10 years and start at 35. You end up with only $300,000. That 10-year delay cost you $400,000. It's insane. Time is your single biggest advantage here.
So you're probably thinking, okay, great, but how do I even start? It's way simpler than you think. Number one, if your job has a 401k match, you have to contribute enough to get that full match. It's free money, an instant 100% return. Seriously, free money. Number two, open a Roth IRA. It's a special account where your money grows tax-free. And third, don't try to be a stock-picking genius. Just use low-cost, diversified index funds. It's like buying a tiny slice of the whole market. The secret here? Keep it boring and keep it consistent. Trust me, when it comes to investing, boring is beautiful.
Okay, we've covered a ton. The what, the why. But now we're at the most important part, the how. Because here's the thing. Long-term success with money has almost nothing to do with willpower. It's all about building a system that runs on autopilot and makes the right decisions for you even when you're not thinking about it.
And here it is, your 4-step financial system. First, automate everything. I mean everything. Savings, investments, debt payments, set it and forget it. Second, check in on your progress. You don't have to be obsessed, but look at your net worth and budget every now and then to see how far you've come. Third, build in some wiggle room. Your plan needs to bend so it doesn't break when life gets messy. And finally, be patient. Seriously, building wealth is a marathon, not a sprint. It's all about those small, consistent steps day after day.
So look, you now have the knowledge. That class you never had, you just took it. The gap in what you know is closed. The only gap that's left is the one between knowing what to do and actually doing it. So the only question that really matters now is, what are you going to do next?